Okay, proceed and second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second this motion. And I rise to second this motion, Mr. Speaker, based on the importance and duties of this Pan-African Parliament in the African Economic Community as so dedicated and adopted, Mr. Speaker, having brought forward to the rules and regulations of the procedure on how to make that treaty, Mr. Speaker, that established the AEC to the Pan-African Parliament and the rules of the procedure, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, also, I want also to come out clear that this Pan-African Parliament and its establishment, Mr. Speaker, it's actually to tackle the essential challenges that affect Africa. Essential challenges affecting Africa, Mr. Speaker, range from the diverse languages we get in Africa from the diverse colonialists that took Africa its interest, Mr. Speaker. You realize, Mr. Speaker, that Africa being one color, but we have different languages. Pan-African Parliament is aimed at looking at how to unite with the diverse kind of languages we have and make Africa as one. Mr. Speaker, also this Pan-African Parliament has also what it does to widen and deepen the integration of African states. And also, Mr. Speaker, when we look at the report that was put forward, Mr. Speaker, Pan-African Parliament looked at how we can, as Africa, be independent from, Mr. Speaker, the sanctions of foreign nations sanctioned on Africa because of what Africa does good and deems good for itself. Mr. Speaker, therefore, Mr. Speaker, without taking much time, since I'm just coming up to second this motion, I had come to this level, Mr. Speaker, because PAP, as an institution, brought out the domestication of the international law, African domestication of the international law on how to put forward the labor movement and how we must be treated outside than here. Mr. Speaker, you realize that we have those who move from Africa to other continents to look for jobs and mistreated there so badly, Mr. Speaker. So this is part of the concern that was put forward, Mr. Speaker, on the floor of the House. And finally, Mr. Speaker, Pan-African Parliament, which sits in Midrand, South Africa, Johannesburg, Mr. Speaker, has extended the invitation of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, in May, Mr. Speaker, to officiate the opening of its parliament, to give Kenya, and that's how Kenya is given respect, Mr. Speaker, in the African continent. It's taken as one of the biggest economy in Africa, and we feel proud of it. Finally, Mr. Speaker, Kenya was respected for presenting 3 women and 2 men, Mr. Speaker. It was given the respect in Africa for checking a gender, taking women very serious. That's giving out the fact that we are given, and that's why we are respected from Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, without much ado, I come here, Mr. Speaker, and second this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, before I propose a question, I would want to hear the Honorable Wanjiku Moria, the Chair of the committee, Select Committee on Regional Integration.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. If you may recall, 2 weeks ago we had a similar debate in this House that you have just put the question. And during my debate, I did put for record that it was premature to bring that debate in the House before it found its way in my committee. Honorable Speaker, if you read Standing Order 212, which my committee is founded on, in particular C and D, it is the committee's mandate to examine the records of all relevant debates and resolutions of the meetings of the Pan-African Parliament, the African, Caribbean, and Pacific European Union Joint Parliamentary Assembly, and other regional integration bodies. Honorable Speaker, it is my hope that the drafter of this standing order was in mind that the Regional Integration Committee is purely mandated to interrogate matters on regional integration, knowing very well that all the bilateral talks, all the bilateral agreements mainly originate from these joint parliaments. And as such, I'm concerned that this is a second debate, and therefore, I would wish that you guide the House, though I have written a letter to the Liaison Committee. Unfortunately, we have not been able to sit for the last 2 Wednesdays. So if you find it well, you may still guide me where I should execute this matter more. But in my view, it is premature for this House to debate this report before it is examined and interrogated by my committee. And Honorable Speaker, for purpose of strengthening this House, at times when committee members debate a report that they have interacted with, they shape the debate in the House. A member like Honorable Mureu may not be well informed about Pan-African proceedings, but when members of Regional Integration Committee, who are more than the 2 who are nominated, speak on these matters, the House will be able to follow the debate, and they can have more understanding, and they can debate from a point of authority and information. With that, Honorable Speaker, I beg you give the guidance. Though I see quite members wishing to discuss on the same.
Honorable members, here is an issue that merits a communication from the chair.